Greetings. This is Ms. J from the Whole Program, and I hope that all is well with you. So in this video, we're going to be talking about networking. And I have to give a shout out and respect and honor to Mr. E. I'm going to be using his slide. I believe that it was a professional one. I believe that it was clear and concise. And you can thank him and you can thank me, because usually my videos are longer because I use more clip art. I'm going to be using his, which is shorter. So then that means that this video is going to be under 20 minutes. You can send me my gift later. Thank you, Mr. E, or the guy with the bow tie. So, how to find a job by building relationships. Surprisingly, one of the best ways is by talking to people you already know and to those you have recently met. Your network of friends, relatives, colleagues, and acquaintances is a valuable job search resource. So, here's what we want you to know, that you have this invisible circle, you have this invisible web of connection to different people who you come across. The moment that you exchange information, they are a part of your network. So who are you connected to? So what is networking? The vast majority of job openings are never advertised. They are filled by word of mouth. That's why networking is the best way to find a job. Unfortunately, many job seekers are hesitant to take advantage of networking because they are afraid of being seen as pushy, annoying, or self-serving. But networking isn't about using other people or aggressively promoting yourself. It's about building relationships. So that means that you are establishing relationships to establish a relationship, not because you want to use them. It just so happens that they can assist you, not that you are looking to establish relationships only with people who can help me do something. That is not the right attitude to have at all. What we want you to know is when you are conversating with someone, that sooner or later they may be able to assist you in an adventure, or you may be able to assist them. And that's our point. So, informal networking opportunities. You can meet someone at a game. You can be online waiting at the refreshment bar, waiting to be served. And those lines are always so long, OMG, right? Halftime, forget about it. A million people out there trying to get the same thing that you are. So you can drum up a conversation very easily with someone, or somebody will maybe even drum up one with you. And you may find out that you have similarities, maybe living in the same area. Is that crazy? Here you are amongst 1,000 people, and you're living and you're sitting there talking to somebody who lives within a block or two from where you live, and probably have crossed your path so many times that is ridiculous. And it can happen just like that. We've done what is called an elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is we pose you a question to our students, and we ask you, what would you say to someone who is standing in an elevator with you as you're on your job hunt or on your way to an interview that you believe that can help you, that they could be the CEO or the president or HR director who's standing in the elevator with you? What would you say to them? Well, you drum up a conversation, you introduce yourself, what you're looking for, and then you close that deal by asking them, hey, can you assist me? Is there someone that you can point me in the direction that will be able to help me? Can I give you my resume, and at your earliest leisure, could you review it? And then can you give me a call and contact me, and we can discuss this further if there is a possibility, or if there's an offering that maybe could be on the table? Or can you take my resume and pass it on to someone who may be looking for someone like me? It can happen just like that. You could be walking your dog, walking your kid, going food shopping, whatever, jogging, whatever, right? Going to the gym, right? We are habit forming beings, and we usually kind of do the same things all the time. We go to the same supermarket, the same gym, right? So if that's the case, sooner or later you get to become familiar, and people become familiar with you when they see your face. Drum up a conversation. They've just become part of your network. So, what is networking? Well, it's about the connection. It's about that invisible web that I was talking about. It is about your circle, right? So, it's about your friends, who your friends are. They can be part of your networking, right? Your friend may have a friend that will be able to help you. That will be part of your networking. Maybe you've had some mentors along the line who have owned businesses and what have you, and you've kept in touch, and they have schooled you and tutored you, in different social aspects or life aspects, or work or business. They are part of your network, and who they know are part of your network. Leaders, people who may have influence. You may know somebody who have influence, or know somebody who knows somebody that has influence. They are part of your network. Companies that you have worked for, companies that you do business with. So for example, I go to the same Dunkin' Donuts by my job all the time. I'm nice to the people who are servicing me, and sooner or later I get to know their names. Sooner or later they get to be familiar with my face. They even know how I like my coffee, right? Caramel, cream, small, hot, decaf. Okay. So, and sometimes when I go, and before I even pay for it, they're already handing me my cup and I didn't even order it. They have become part of my network because there is an exchange of information, right? And so then if someone is like really nice to me, then let me tell you what I do. I ask to speak to their manager, and then I tell their manager about how accommodating and how nice and friendly that this person is, and how professional that they are, and how they service me, and how they make me happy. Then sooner or later, I'm going to get to at least to know the face or the name of the manager. Guess what? He's just become part of my network. She's just become part of my network. I can maybe be in there one day and go, hey, I'm looking for a job. He may say, what kind of job you looking for? I may be looking for a retail job, right? And he may say, hey, give me your resume, right? Look, a relationship has already been established, and I'm a nice customer. I don't complain. I speak very nicely to people. I give recommendations. I've already established some kind of relationship. Networking, right? Nonprofit organization. Well, if you're looking at this video, then that means that you are part of the Hopes nonprofit organization, okay? Look, you can even volunteer at some organizations. When you're volunteering, when you're doing internship, guess what? That is part of your network. Okay, so anyone that you come across at the HOPE program, whether that be your instructor, your employment specialist, your tech instructor, the directors, the executives, wellness directors, the interns, whoever you come into contact with, they have become part of your network, and it's about establishing a working relationship, being nice to people, establishing a rapport. Okay, maybe people that you've gone to school with. Look, some of you are probably still friends with someone who you went to in elementary school. You've been to their wedding, they've been to yours. You've given them condolences when people have passed, and when they got a divorce, when their child was christened, you was there. When their child got married, you was there. That is networking. That is a relationship. Okay, religious organizations, your synagogues, places that you go to worship, places where you go for entertainment, whatever that exchange is, that is part of your network. Okay, previous coworkers, employers are part of your network. Get it? So you already know how to network. Networking is nothing more than getting to know people. Whether you realize it or not, you're already networking every day and everywhere you go. You are networking when you strike up a conversation with the person next to you in line at the grocery store, right? Introduce yourself to other parents at your child's school, meet a friend of a friend, catch up with former coworkers, or stop to chat with your neighbor. You've been living next door to this neighbor for about 6-7 years now. You may not know their names, right? But you know their face. Maybe you held a package for them that was delivered and they weren't home, and they had to come over to get it. That is establishing a relationship, okay? So everyone who you meet can actually help you, or be the key, or be the connection to who can help you in that web of connection. So are you using everyone who you know? Now, here is the bottom line, right? when you're looking for a job, everyone that you know should know that you're looking for a job. Like your cousin, who lives in the next borough, and maybe you don't see them often, but you kind of chat on Facebook, or every once in a while you send each other a text just checking in to see how they're doing. They are a part of your network, and they should know that you are looking for a job. So everybody who you know, every person should know that you're looking for a job. And even some of those people, you should email your resume to them, so it could be at the top of their brain when they get it, that they may be in a conversation a week or two later and they go, oh yeah, wait a minute, hold on, my cousin is looking for a job, and they can do exactly what you're looking to hire someone for. Like, let me exchange your information, let me forward you their resume. Just that simple. Networking. You would be surprised to know who you know who's who know who, and who. We're just saying. So networking is the best way to find a job, because job listings tend to draw piles of applicants, right? And you can get lost in that pool. So that puts you in a very intense competition with many other people. So networking makes you a recommended member of a much smaller pool. And how awesome would it be if, like, say your godmother, for example, who has been in banking for 30 years and she just retired, right? And she's been retired for about 2 years, and you keep a good relationship with her, right? And you call her one day and you go, God, mommy, I'm looking for a job, and I'm having a hard time, or what have you, right? Conversation is going to happen. She's going to say, well, baby, what kind of job are you looking for? What is it that you can do? And you're going to explain what it is that you can do, right? And she's going to go, wait a minute, I think I know somebody who can help. Let me make a phone call. Right? And then she's going to introduce you to someone who she used to work with, right? Or she's going to say, look, take this information, send this person your resume, okay? So when you send that resume to that person, because of your godmother, you're going to say, hey, my godmother, Nancy, said for me to send you my resume, and that you may be able to help me. And I think that this is absolutely wonderful. My godmother have spoken about you. I've heard your name a number of times over the years, and I'm just so excited to meet you. And I hope that you can really help me. Done. Now, but here's the other thing that I want to say before I forget. So, we believe that in this occasion, Godmommy worked 30 years, that she was really a good employee. What if she wasn't? So if she was not a good employee, if she was a horrible person, she did not get along with people, she was mean and hateful, and everybody hated her, is that a reference that you want? Do you want to be part of her network? No. Why? Because birds of a feather. Right? So whoever is giving you advice, make sure that it is a person of integrity. Make sure it's a person that knows what it is that they're talking about, that they are honest, okay, that they are friendly, that they are warm and welcoming, that they are trustworthy, that they are dependable, and that they are reliable, and they have a good reputation. Just make sure. Okay, because if you don't, it's birds of a feather. So if someone who's negative gives you information, whoever you contact is going to think that you're just as negative as the person that referred you. So let's just make sure that the lines are really clear and not blurred. So networking is the best way to find a job, because people do business primarily with people they know and like. Resumes and cover letters alone are often too personal to convince employers to hire you. So knowing someone, it's an awesome opportunity that's for you. Okay, I don't know why this is up and upside down, whatever, we're going to continue. So practice every day. The more you network, the easier that it gets. Just keep doing it, keep at it, exercise your muscles, just have conversations with people. You can't go wrong. It's okay. You won't get into trouble. Just make it brief and see what happens. But get your muscles up. You got to practice. So, networking tip, identify the goals that you want to achieve when you go to an event. So, for example, you want to learn more about a career, and before you leave that event, you're going to meet 10 hiring managers. Okay, you're going to walk up to 10 tables. You are going to force yourself to have a conversation about who you are, what it is that you can do, and what it is that you are looking for, and if they are able to assist you. Okay, you want to further the conversation. You want their name, you want their contact information, you want their email, you want to know what site to go on. You are not going to walk away from them until you have secured this information. So you just get your strength up, get your confidence up, whether you feel it or not. Put that face on, be strong, and you go and you charge. Sometimes you got to psych yourself up like that and tell yourself that you can do this, and let's go and take care of this, right? If there's nothing that can beat a try, nothing can beat a try. You never know what can happen. And then if you are successful, and then if you get a hit, if you get a contact, how awesome is that? So when you go to a job fair, put your plan in play. So many job seekers lack confidence. Selling ourselves can be nerve-wracking to some. Networking is a great place to start building confidence for these interactions, as you can finesse your business pitch. Practice, 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 practice. Anything that you want to do in this life, you're practicing to be perfect, but you're practicing to be better. Practice. So networking with all your contacts. You may think that you don't know anyone who can help you with your job search, but you know more people than you think that you do. And there's a very good chance that at least a few of these people know someone who can give you career advice, or point you to a job opening, or point you in a direction, or they may be the key to unlock the door into meeting someone, the perfect person that you need to meet. So practice, practice, practice. You don't know what can happen until you open up your mouth. And remember that somehow we are all connected with one another. Okay, so I hope that this video has been helpful to you. I just want to tell you just one more story before I close this out. I may have told you the story before, but it is relevant to this networking conversation that we are having, right? So I was on a train on my way to work. This young man came through our train when the train doors closed and the train was pulling off to go into the next stop. This young man stood in the middle of the train, apologized to everyone for the interruption, and he told us that he was looking for a job. He was very nicely presented. He had on a nice suit, a nice shirt, tie, nice shoes. He had a portfolio in his hand, and he had a number of resume copies in his hand as well. And what he said was that he was on a train not because he was begging for money, not that he didn't need anything to eat. He said, I am looking for a job and I am having difficulty finding one. So I am on this train to see if there is someone that is in this car that will be able to help me, or you know someone that you can pass my resume to who can help me. And then he said, and please do not take my resume if you cannot help me. I don't need that kind of help. And for me, that is waste. I only want to give it to someone who will really look at it, who will really pass it on to someone, or someone who's really in a position to help me. Let me tell you, 3 men, to my remembrance, 3 men said, one said, young man, come over here. Let me see that. Come sit down next beside me. Let me see your resume. Another one was getting off and he said, young man, I'm getting off the train. Give me your resume. And he gave him a business card. Okay. And then there was another one that said, after you finish talking to him, I want you to come over here and talk to me. So the train went a couple of stops, and that young man said all of that before the train even got to the next stop. Okay. And so I was on the train for a couple of stops, and this young man was sitting next beside the one that called him and told him, come sit down and come talk to him. And I saw that they were like in a huddle, like they were really talking and having this conversation, right? And then I saw that man pull out a business card and hand it to him. And I've never seen that young man ever again. Because you know, when you take the same train at the same time in the same car, right? And you see the same faces, sometimes you get to know people, and sometimes you smile at people and you nod at people who you recognize. I said sometimes. I'm in New York. I understand that. I said sometimes, okay? So look, whoever took the information just became part of his network. And again, I never saw that man again. And so I hope that all is well with him and that he did get a job from the hard work that he was putting in that situation. He was enlarging his network. Okay, so I hope that all is well, and you have an assignment that you are going to do. And the assignment is going to ask you to think about and to list as many people in your network as possible. I think that we're really asking for maybe 3 or 4. right? But hey, if you can come up with more of a list and you get the juices going and you're going, wait a minute, I know this person, wait a minute. And you know what? Here's the other thing. Maybe you need to reconnect with some people who you haven't spoken to in a long time, right? Find out what they're up to and what's going on with them. They're part of your network and you never know. They may be in a position to help you. Okay? So this is Ms. J, and I hope that all is well with you. And I hope this was good for you and to you. See you next time.